One of the questions I get all the time is, Mr. H, should I go to college? And honestly, I don't think that even one video can answer that question. That takes a lot of soul searching. But what I can do is I can share kind of my experiences as I went through my career field to help you decide if you should go to college for IT and cybersecurity. How's it going? My name is TJ Houston. I am an IT and cybersecurity instructor from the Ohio area. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about going to college, okay? Does it make sense for you to go to college? Whether you are in high school, you're in your 20s or 30s, or maybe, later on you're wanting to switch careers, and you might be asking yourself, does it make sense for you? So I wanted to share kind of my thoughts on it as someone who, I got my associates, my bachelor's, and my master's. And does it make sense for everybody? Okay. So, first and foremost, what I tell my students that are in my program, I teach juniors and seniors, is we have this program where they can basically go get their associate's degree after they leave my class, and they get 2 years of it for free. Okay, so to them, I say, go do it. I mean, I went through and got my associate's degree right outside of after high school, and the hands-on experience that I got in that program was night and day. I mean, my wife at that time, my girlfriend, she was at the University of Findlay. And as we talked, she's like, you are getting such a better education at the local community college. Okay. So here in Ohio, and I'm going to post another video. It's kind of specific to Ohio because that's, where I'm at and what I know. But your state might have a similar program where these colleges even have programs that you can go to for free and not have to pay for anything. Okay, so especially when it comes to IT and cybersecurity, because these states want to upskill, they want to give their constituents, the people that live in that state, they want to upskill them to bring in the Intels of the world, the Apples, the Microsofts. They want to say, hey, look, we have well-qualified people here in the state. Why don't you bring your company here? Okay, so I'm going to share some resources. I'll even put them in a link in this video as well. But to my students, if you are just leaving high school and you're not going to, maybe you're not into sports or you don't have a scholarship in any other way, look into getting your associate's degree. Okay. A lot of those associate's degrees are aligned with certifications. So you'll have that hands-on lab experience that with someone that's probably been in the industry, and they can be a mentor to you. In the associate's degree program that I was at Lorain County Community College, that's where I met my mentor, Tim Reeves. And when I saw what he did, that he got to teach in high school, I set that as my career goal. And then fast forward, 15 years later, and that's what I'm doing as my full-time. And we've kept in touch all along the way. So that experience, that being able to go somewhere in an adult fashion, like you're leaving high school, you're kind of still have your training wheels on and that you're still going to class, maybe not every single day. I think that is a super valuable thing. And for the last 12 years, I get it. You've been going to school every day, you want a break, but I promise you, when you go to your college, especially for, again, I'm specifically talking about an associate's program, you can still work, you can still possibly live at home if there's one nearby, and it's not very expensive. Okay, so to put it in perspective, an associate's degree ranges from $3,000 to $5,000 a year, and most of the programs have payment plans. So when I got my associate's degree, I paid cash all the way through. Was it tough? Yeah, but at the end, I didn't have any student loans, which was awesome. A bachelor's degree is anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 per year, and a master's is anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 per year. Okay, so that seems like a lot of money. So I would say if you're just getting into IT, I think the first place you should look is an associate's degree program. Okay, look at your local community college. That I think is a great way to get started because you have a lab, you have a place where you can experiment and fail and learn, and you're also going to build a community. you're going to build a community of people that are like you that are also getting into IT, which, I looked up a few of mine on LinkedIn and they're doing some awesome things at some really cool places. So if I ever needed a job or something happened to my job, I now have a network of people that I met in my degree program that could vouch for me and maybe help me get a job. So I 100% stand for an associate's degree program. It's really good if you are changing from one career to another because you can just do night classes. It's good if you're coming right out of high school because you have kind of the training wheels still on, and you don't have to move very far. So I can unequivocally say, like, I struggle with finding a reason not to go to a good associate's degree program. Okay. So from there, a bachelor's degree. So who who is the ideal candidate for a bachelor's degree? I think if you're going for like computer science, it would be really good because you can get those theories and algorithms. And like my friend went through that, and he's now at Microsoft, so I can see where taking the college route can have big dividends. I mean, he's been at Microsoft for, gosh, I don't know, probably 10 years, coming up on 10 years now. He's worked on some really cool projects, and he went that bachelor's and then master's route in computer science and then cloud computing. So, in the middle there, like I was making a lot more money than him because I got my associate's degree, got right into the schools, became a tech director really early on. So I was making pretty good money. And then he was still in college. But then that graph kind of switched, right? Because he went out to work at Microsoft and his salary was probably double or triple mine. Okay. So, but he worked hard to get there. I mean, he had his bachelor's, his master's, he was in his doctoral program. And there's a lot of money that's tied to that, right? I mean, you're looking at, 25, you're probably looking at about 100 grand to go all the way through your master's. So if you're going to computer science, I think it's a good option. There are some, and I talked to a guy on the podcast about this who went to a boot camp. So I would say those are like the two options that I would suggest if you're like a computer science person, was either look for a local boot camp that you can do like 4 months and get all of your skills, and because they probably have connections with people to get you hired. But if not, like going to a CS program for your bachelor's, I feel like if I were going for coding or development, I would probably do better in a more structured environment like that, where, I have someone where I can focus on it. Like in the IT world, there's certifications and I can go to that certification and then I can, when I get that certification, I can check that box and move on. Same thing with cybersecurity. Computer science is a little different, right? I mean, there's a couple certifications out there, not very many. It really comes with working on projects and, getting those internships and stuff like that, especially if you want to work at some of the bigger companies. Now, full disclosure, you could do all this on your own. Like you can self-study and get whatever job you want, but there's certain jobs that HR departments are gatekeepers of, in that if you don't have that ticket, that master's degree, that bachelor's degree, that associate's degree, you don't even get looked at. Like it's like walking up to a roller coaster and there's that person that's standing there to see how tall you are. And it doesn't matter how tall you are, you ain't getting in because this is what our requirements are. You have to have this degree. And I think that's changing a lot in IT and cybersecurity. But, for the bachelor's, I personally don't know if I would recommend that for someone who is in IT and cybersecurity that's not going for the college experience. So theater, music, all the extracurricular type of stuff, band, sports. Like if you're into those things and you want to live that college life, it's always been like your jam wanting to do that, then amen. That's how my nephew is. Like he's hardcore into sports. He's coming into my program for cybersecurity. So for him, like I'm going to help him try to find an IT and cybersecurity career where he can also play sports, or a program that he can also play sports. So, everybody is different, and you really have to sit down and figure out like, what are your goals? Like if you want to, spend, 2 years and get a degree and some certifications, boom, go associate's degree. If you want to go to college and enjoy that college life, then who's to say that it's not a good idea? I mean, when you're in that program, you might have to work harder for like your certifications and stuff because they're not as, from what I've seen, four-year institutions are not really certification heavy. Like they don't really focus on those as much. And then finally, like your master's, so I'm a late bloomer in the educational world, if you will. So I got my associate's degree when I was like 20-ish. yeah, 20. I think I was 20. I'm 34 now, and I got my master's degree, my bachelor's and my master's degree when I was like 29 and 30, I think. So I'd already gone through my IT career. Um, but again, I waited until I had people to pay for it for me. I waited for my job to offer that reimbursement, and I let them pay for a lot of my classes. So I didn't have a lot of that money out of pocket. So, I didn't, it's not like these degrees got me that tech director job, that vice president of managed services job. Me working hard in my associate's program and networking helped me get through the steps, get past that gatekeeper in order to get me the opportunities. Now, while I was there, did I have like imposter syndrome? And did I was around these people that are like doctors and have their masters? I mean, a little bit, but also like I was presenting at conferences, like I was a leader in my field. So I kind of getting the degrees was more of a not a challenge, just to prove my knowledge, like to myself, and knowing that like I am just as good as them. I'm gonna go get those degrees real quick, and it was within like a 2-year period. I buckled down and I got those degrees, and I'm currently in my doctoral program as we speak. So you know, hopefully that helps you kind of understand. Now there is one school that I would say kind of shakes this upside down, in that they're an online college that is based on certifications. So I would definitely check them out. The name is escaping me right now. Let me look it up real quick. Online Masters of IT. It is the Western Governors University. Okay. So, Western Governors University, I really like their program in that they have, you can actually do an accelerated information technology bachelor's and master's all in once. But you go through and you get different certifications. So, you're going to get your CompTIA certifications, A plus, Net plus, Security plus. You're going to get your AWS stuff, your, kind of more management level stuff like your PMI certifications, like for project management, your ITIL, you're going to get all of those certifications as part of the degree program. So I think that's really cool. The only thing you have to watch with Western Governors University is you can go at your own pace, but you're paying at your own pace. So the more time that you take to get those degrees, the more you're going to spend. So if you have that luxury of being focused on that degree, I think Western Governors is definitely worth a look. And I've been on their subreddit. I've actually applied there once I finish up my schoolwork at the University of Toledo. I'm going to actually go there for my master's in cybersecurity, because it really resonated, with me. And, here they're at about $3,700 per 6 months. So that's $5,400 a year. So it's a little on the expensive side for some of that associate's level stuff, but it's bachelor's level, like they're accredited for a bachelor's degree. So you're going to save money in the long run as long as you stay focused. So hopefully this shed some light on whether you should go to college. Again, I just wanted to get some thoughts out of my head because I know my students are going to be asking this exact same question. So I figured I'd make a video so they can watch it and ask any questions. And if you ever want to just email me and say, hey, TJ, like this is my situation. What do you think? What can you recommend? Shoot me an email, tj@tjhouston.com. Also, if you're just getting into IT, make sure you subscribe because I'm doing a lot of IT fundamentals certification lectures. And I also have a free study guide with questions and stuff that you can download. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. If you need absolutely anything, please let me know. Thanks.